Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, the Maine legislature convened for a new session today, and they are striking a tone of cooperation.
Our Devin Dagnall was there and has more.
Maine's new members of Congress were sworn in Wednesday to create the state's 131st House and Senate. Across both branches of the legislature, there are many that are serving for the first time. Among the rookie senators is Jill Duson, the former mayor of Portland.
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited and humbled to be the first BIPOC woman elected to the Maine State Senate. I'm excited to have the opportunity to make sure people realize there's so much more to me than the fact that I am African American. It's an important factor, but I'm also a deeply experienced public servant.
Despite coming off of what many saw as a very divisive election cycle, both parties say they are willing to put their differences aside and reach across the aisle for the people of Maine.
I've made it a point to get out and talk to Democrats and Republicans here, and I'm looking forward to a really good relationship between the two parties.
Senator Troy D. Jackson was reelected as president of the Senate, making him the longest-serving state Senate president since the institution of term limits. In his acceptance speech, Jackson instilled a message of unity and camaraderie among those in the Senate.
I think that Senate President Jackson set the tone. I think that as a majority party, we're completely open and committed to trying to work on a bipartisan basis in the interest of all of Maine.
In Augusta, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Well, Republicans have rejected the emergency winter heating relief plan Governor Mills unveiled yesterday. The Senate voted to send LD1 to the Appropriations and Financial Affairs Committee for a public hearing. The plan, which was negotiated with Republican and Democratic leadership in the legislature over the past several weeks, is a package of short-term measures aimed at ensuring that low-income and middle-class Maine people and families can stay warm this winter despite rising energy costs. It included $450 checks to be sent to most Maine people to help with heating costs, as well as tens of millions of dollars in funding for the Home Energy Assistance Program, Maine Community Action Partnerships, as well as short-term housing to prevent homelessness in the winter. Democrats say temperatures are dropping and quick action is necessary. Republicans said they want more time.
And we all know that the price of a tank of heating oil is just too high.
Yes, we take this seriously, but we also think that the Maine people need to have a say.
Governor Mills is urging Senate Republicans to join their other Republican and Democratic colleagues in the legislature to give the plan the support needed to enact it as an emergency measure.
Portland Democratic Representative Rachel Talbot Ross made history today after being elected by her fellow lawmakers, becoming Maine's next Speaker of the House. Elected to the state legislature and is now the state's first black Speaker of the House. Her father, Gerald Talbot, was the first black legislator ever elected in Maine. That was back in 1972. He was at the State House today along with her son, and her three sisters.
Sit in this room embarking on our shared work as the most diverse legislature in the history of Maine. It is my unwavering belief, though, that we are one Maine.
It's a huge honor. She has worked so hard to get here today. And now, as we go into 2023, we have more women of color here in the legislature.
The House Speaker's sister says it's a good sign for Maine that the state and this legislature is becoming more diverse.
Meanwhile, Maine Senator Angus King is lauding Raphael Warnock's win in the Georgia runoff election last night. King issued a statement saying, in part, quote, "Senator Warnock is an outstanding colleague who is diligent, measured, and hardworking, ready to put politics and party aside to get results. He is a shining example of how to stand on principle and make progress while also governing with compassion and a heart for compromise. I've always found Senator Warnock to be a dedicated colleague looking to do the right thing for the right reasons for the people of Georgia. That's what our voters hired us to do, and I look forward to continue this good work in the upcoming Congress. Together, I'm hopeful we can find common sense, bipartisan solutions to the issues facing the people of Maine, Georgia, and the nation," end quote.
State police, meanwhile, are investigating a crash that claimed the life of a pedestrian in Hancock this morning. It happened on Route 1 near the Hancock Grammar School at around 6:15. Maine Department of Public Safety spokesperson Shannon Moss says 57-year-old Shauna Hardison of Lemoyne was driving a pickup in the northbound lane when it struck a man walking in the roadway. 67-year-old Edwin Rowe of Hancock was pronounced dead at the scene. Moss says Rowe was wearing dark clothing at the time, and the stretch of road where he was walking was dark and did not have any street lights. Moss says weather and visibility appear to be factors in this crash. Hardison was not injured, and a full investigation is being conducted and will be reviewed once complete.
Well, the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office has issued a silver alert for 68-year-old Gene Buck of Milford. Buck left his county road residence at approximately 4 p.m. Tuesday to head to Greenbush, but never showed up. He is a white male who is 6 feet tall, 210 pounds, with hazel eyes, gray hair, a gray beard, and mustache. He was last seen wearing jeans, a blue flannel, and a dark blue cap. He's driving a blue Toyota Tacoma with Maine plates, and he may be experiencing cognitive issues. If you have any information about Eugene Buck, you are asked to call the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office.
The case against a man accused of killing his own brother in Poland is moving forward. 34-year-old Justin Butterfield was indicted today by the Androscoggin County Grand Jury for the death of his brother, 38-year-old Gabriel Demore. Butterfield is expected to claim he wasn't in a legally responsible state of mind at the time of the crime. The judge ordered an evaluation to determine whether he's competent to stand trial. He's being held at the Androscoggin County Jail since his arrest on Thanksgiving Day.
Well, taking a look outside, you don't even need to look outside to know what's going on. It is absolutely pouring right now.
You're right. We hear it coming down on the roof above us right now, and many people probably doing the same as they watch this broadcast.
Indeed. Well, with a little bit more on when it's going to stop, let's take a first look at our forecast.
Thank you so much, Beth. Our first weather is brought to you by Scott's Recreation, locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. So more rain in the region today, and that's going to continue into tonight. So keep those umbrellas handy because we will need them overnight tonight. And then by tomorrow, we're finally going to be in the clear. Temperatures, though, were pretty warm to start the morning. 42 here in town, a couple of 30s and 40s down south, and some mid to upper 30s to the north, but overall you get the trend. It was a little bit of a warmer start to the day, and that warm air continued to stick around. Look at these high temperatures. 53 degrees earlier in Bangor. Same thing by Bar Harbor. Rockland coming in at 52. So temperatures were in the 50s here in town, so it was feeling nice and warm, kind of like a spring to fall type of day. But cold air will be arriving very, very shortly. Look at all this cold air from Canada. All of that's going to continue to push in south. And as it does, it's going to move east. And as that continues to move east, colder air will return. Definitely not in the next couple of days. Kind of like tonight, temperatures will be well above average and hovering in those mid to upper 40s. Beth?
All righty, comrade. Thanks so much.
Still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, the Homeless Memorial Blanket Project visits Bangor to gather blankets made by locals.
And Education Commissioner Macon visits Nokomis Middle School to observe its computer science education program. We'll have those stories and more local news when we come right back.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
When you're ready to go, but static says, whoa. Try Bounce Lasting Fresh. More freshness, more softness, less static, less wrinkles. New Bounce Lasting Fresh. Yeah, it's the sheet.
Brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein.
Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients for immune health.
Big trucks rule the road. They're dangerous, and they can cause big, bad injuries. But the big trucking companies don't stand a chance against me. These companies have big insurance policies, and if you're hurt by one of these big boys, I'll fight to make them pay up for you. I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a big truck? Come out on top. Call the twos. Call 222-2222.
It's Battle of the Ages.
These old geezers better work.
This old guy's here to play.
This is a joke. Hell's Kitchen, Battle of the Ages, Thursday on Fox.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Hello, everyone. I'm Craig Colson. Coming up on the next Good Morning Maine, state lawmakers are returning to Augusta with a busy agenda ahead. We'll tell you about what they have planned for the session ahead. We'll also check in with Howard and the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll see what they're cooking up today. We hope you'll join us on the next Good Morning Maine.
The Island Nursing Home Board of Directors held a public forum tonight at Deer Isle Stonington High School to hear input on a drafted plan to reopen the facility for residential care. The skilled nursing care facility had to close its doors late last year due to a lack of staff. And as a residential care facility, it would offer meals and medication, but would not have professional nurses. Now, according to Island Nursing Home spokesperson Dan Cashman, under the current draft plan, the facility would reopen with 32 residential care beds, offering services to the island population in need. Cashman says the standalone residential care facility will require financial support, with a fundraising campaign being an integral part of that draft plan.
If we get a better reimbursement, then maybe we would be able to consider some nursing care beds. But then we still have the question of being able to hire staff.
Cashman says their goal is to gain state approval and begin admitting residents by July 1st of 2023.
Volunteers with the Homeless Memorial Blanket Project were in Bangor today gathering locally made blankets. The blankets collected from the project will be displayed on the west lawn of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. on the 21st. After they're displayed, the blankets will be distributed to families and individuals that are in need of blankets this winter.
Last year we decided that, there were just too many candlelight vigils and they didn't produce anything. So if we made a major art installation of beautiful blankets like the works of art that are all around us here, that would have an impact like a candlelight vigil, but the very next day we could give those blankets to people in need and they would feel loved and they would feel warm.
Anyone interested in donating a blanket that missed the drop-off can reach out to the Homeless Memorial Blanket Project, where a Mainer driving those blankets to the Capitol building will pick up your donation.
Well, with this week being Computer Science Education Week, Maine Education Commissioner Pender Macon visited one local school to highlight its thriving program. Our Matthew Jurancic was there.
Here at Nokomis Middle School, one program is getting major attention for its accomplishments. The computer science program is doing so well that Maine Education Commissioner Pender Macon stopped by to meet the students, and she says she was taken away by what she saw.
It's been inspirational beyond words. I'm looking at everything STEM related, digital learning, broadcasting, real-world applications of the hard skills of computer science, and it has been a great experience.
In her visit, Macon visited the 6th grade integrated technology class, observing student robotics projects, and participating in a live student leadership ambassador of Maine broadcast on computer science education efforts. Teacher Keith Kelly says the kids are using familiar tools like Legos to learn the greater concept in computer science.
They learn the process of coding, which eliminating variables and reiterating and trying it and testing it, and this works and that works. And they learn kind of an if-then statements, things we do all the time.
And students say they enjoy what the class has to offer.
It's pretty fun. There's a lot of physical stuff. It looks like fun, and it's right up my alley and what I like to do.
And with Maine being the only state in the nation to offer project-based science education to all pre-K to 12th grade students, Macon believes that STEM in Maine is only going to grow from here.
When you have educators like the educators here at Nokomis who are so open-hearted, open-minded, and eager to share, and their enthusiasm is so contagious, the students can't possibly, resist it. They are going to be inspiring their peers across the state.
Matthew Jurancic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
And coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, a bipartisan group of lawmakers held a news conference Wednesday to highlight the pressures Border Patrol agents are facing.
And marijuana use among children has soared 250% over the last 20 years, surpassing alcohol as the drug of choice for those under 18. We'll have more on that and other stories after this short break.
If you're 45 or older, it's time to take a step in owning your health. Getting a colonoscopy is one of the best things you can do to detect and prevent colon cancer in your future. Physicians at the St. Joseph Digestive Health Center are there to help you live life to the fullest, starting with a screening colonoscopy. Own your health by calling to schedule your colonoscopy. Call the St. Joseph Digestive Health Center at 907-3550. It's time.
Did you know that Renewal by Andersen will replace your windows any time of the year and in any weather? Made with our exclusive Fibrix material, which is vastly superior to vinyl, never needs painting, and resists warping and bowing. We custom build your replacement windows in the USA and back them with the nation's best warranty. Call Renewal by Andersen for your free consultation. Don't miss this money-saving deal with great financing. Installation is always included. Call now.
Say goodbye to lag times and death spirals with our crazy fast fiber internet. At GoNet Speed, we've dropped our prices on fiber. That means hello to fast fiber internet starting at just $49.95 per month. Or go up to 1 gig, that's 1,000 megabits per second, for only $69.95 a month. The lowest prices we've ever offered. No contract, no hidden fees, no joke. Visit GoNetspeed.com to check availability in your area.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Hashi Auto Enhancing family. We thank you for your business this past year. Wishing you a warm holiday season from Candor Cafe, located inside the Bangor Mall. Season's greetings and Happy New Year from the Next Homies at Next Home Experience. Thank you for a great 2022.
It's about character. It's about belief. Break! It's about trust. This is not an adventure race. This is a military selection.
Do I still have that fire?
They've entered our world. They will play by our rules.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business.
Republicans are disappointed following Tuesday night's runoff election in Georgia, where incumbent Senator Democrat Raphael Warnock beat Republican Herschel Walker. GOP lawmakers are divided about who and what's to blame. The victory now gives Democrats an easier path to controlling committees in the Senate and moving bills a lot quicker. Fox's Mike Emanuel reports from Washington.
A day after the Georgia runoff, Democrats are elated.
But a big win for the people of Georgia and people of America.
They now have a 51-49 majority in the Senate.
We hope that we'll be able to move things forward with greater speed.
That's Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's plan, but the big issues are going to call for compromise.
One of the things I hope to do as leader is, even in this new electoral climate, is reach out to Republicans.
But he won't have to reach out on everything. Senate Democrats can now push through judicial and cabinet nominees with their own votes. Over in the House, Republicans will be in charge, and they plan to tighten the purse strings.
We've got to get away from these big spending bills. It's why we have the inflation
and the high cost of everything today because government went on a drunken spending spree for the last 2 years. You know, every bill was $1 trillion this and $1 trillion that.
That's the hope of Republicans who say voters want to see both sides come together to solve problems.
If we pick the right issues, I think we can push the agenda more right of center, even with 49 senators.
A 51-49 Senate majority also means Democrats will no longer have to continually rely on Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
Meanwhile, there is a renewed push on Capitol Hill to see if there's an immigration and border security bill possible before the end of this current congressional session. It comes as illegal crossings are at record highs on the southern border, and many patrol agents say they feel abandoned. Fox's Lauren Blanchard has that report from Washington.
A Border Patrol agent died Wednesday after a high-speed chase near the border in Mission, Texas.
It's horrific, and it goes back to the policies and the failed policies of this administration.
The danger agents are confronting at the southern border, the record-high number of illegal border crossings, and figuring out the future for undocumented youths, all in focus on Capitol Hill, where a group of bipartisan senators are hoping for compromise. In a potential framework discussion still in its early phase, there would be a pathway to citizenship for those protected under DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals.
This idea that somehow we can either have border security or a humanitarian policy towards immigrants, that you have one or the other is crap. You can have both.
In exchange, more funding for border agents and migrant processing facilities, and a 1-year extension for Title 42, which has been used since the start of the pandemic to quickly expel migrants. Wednesday night, the Biden administration announced they will appeal a federal judge that ruled back in November that Title 42 must be lifted.
So many Border Patrol agents have talked to me about. They feel abandoned by this administration. Abandoned. This shouldn't be political. This shouldn't be about Republican or Democrat.
Title 42 is scheduled to drop in just 2 weeks. Homeland Security said a worst-case scenario could mean 18,000 illegal crossings per day. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
There is increasing opposition to the bid by House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy to become Speaker when Republicans gain control of the chamber next month. Fox's Chad Pergram has that story.
House Republicans opposed to Kevin McCarthy becoming Speaker implored him to strip the vaccine mandate from the defense bill. Check. But that still didn't move the needle.
We've been begging leadership to oppose the NDAA and to defeat it because we could defeat it with the minority because the Democrats couldn't pass it without our votes.
Andy Biggs promises to continue his bid for Speaker until the January vote.
If we continue to elect the same leaders, we're going to keep doing the same things that we're doing. We're going to make a change.
McCarthy allies are closing ranks.
Andy Biggs is a good man. He's a friend of mine. But I think Kevin McCarthy is going to be the Speaker.
The winning Speaker needs an outright majority of all House members casting ballots by name. The magic number isn't known until the end of the vote. McCarthy opponents could vote present, so those votes would not count toward calculating the majority.
Members can get up and they can say anything. They can say present, but sometimes they'll throw out a different name. Colin Powell was a name that would often get thrown out.
The Speaker doesn't need to be a member of the House. That's why some Republicans whispered the names of retiring moderates Fred Upton and Lee Zeldin as possible stand-ins. But Zeldin's not interested.
I'm certainly not going to meddle with that process at all.
Biggs tweeted there won't be what he called a rhino Speaker of the House. Democrats say the GOP infighting foreshadows Republican struggles to govern.
They're in total disarray on their side of the aisle. They're going to have a hard time getting anything done.
The House can't do anything, including launching investigations, until it picks a Speaker. And the person who presides over the House until this is settled, the Democratic-appointed Clerk of the House, Cheryl Johnson. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
As legal marijuana becomes more widespread, there are new concerns about an increase in the number of children using that drug. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson explains.
Marijuana use among children under 18 has hit an all-time high, soaring nearly 250% over the past 20 years, surpassing alcohol as the drug of choice, according to a new study. And as usage increases, so does the risk of addiction.
1 in 10 adults who uses marijuana will go on to become addicted to marijuana. And with children under the age of 18, that rate goes as high as 1 in 6.
This increase partially due to THC potency, jumping from 4% to more than 15% in recent years. Some doctors warn increased legalization and accessibility, even for users under the legal age of 21, have made it easier for children to trade the bottle for bud. And experts worry the effects of marijuana could lead to an uptick in medical issues.
Emergency rooms are going to be clogged with people with cannabis-induced psychosis who have underlying mental health issues.
Meanwhile, recreational marijuana is now legal in 21 states and the nation's capital, with some arguing cannabis is a booming business and the drug can help Americans in a number of health issues. But others remain concerned about the impact drug usage has on America's youth.
If you smoke it at an early age, you might actually drop your IQ by 8 points. And this IQ is not something that can come back. We also worry that it has an increased incidence of mental health issues, anxiety, stress, depression, suicidal ideation.
Experts attribute the rise of marijuana use to increased legalization nationwide and increased popularity of those edible cannabis products, like gummies, which are now widely available. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
A number of ceremonies around the country marked 81 years since the attack on Pearl Harbor. For the survivors still with us and the veterans of the attack, the memories are still vivid and the emotions still raw. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports from Washington.
Every December 7th, time stands still in Pearl Harbor. 81 years later, Franklin Delano Roosevelt's words still echo.
A date which will live in infamy.
2,403 service members and civilians were killed in the Japanese bombing, launching the United States into World War II.
The Americans were obviously not prepared for anything of that nature, but it changed the lives of really the world.
Annual commemorations are held throughout the country to remember those who died and to pay tribute to those who survived. However, each year, the group of survivors grows smaller. USS Arizona sailor Luke Hunter lived through the Japanese attack, even though his battleship exploded and sank after being hit by 2 aerial bombs.
We're not heroes. They call us heroes, but we're not. The ones, the 2,403 men that died are the heroes, and we've got to honor them ahead of everybody else.
There's also no shortage of modesty from Ira Schaub, a veteran who was serving in the Navy band on the USS Dobbin when the strike broke out.
No, I'm not worth it. Who's worth all this?
But if they're not worthy, one may ask, who is?
As an active duty service member, I feel like they were protecting us beforehand, and now it's our turn to protect them.
President Biden said in a statement that Pearl Harbor was a solemn reminder that some of America's greatest triumphs came out of its darkest moments. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
And in honor of Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, Governor Mills ordered the U.S. and state of Maine flags be flown at half-staff in accordance with a directive from the president. She issued a statement that said, quote, "We pause in solemn remembrance of the thousands of men and women, service members and civilians alike who lost their lives during the devastating attack on Pearl Harbor. Many Americans stepped up to join the war effort and turn back the forces of evil during World War II, and many paid the ultimate price in defense of the freedoms we still hold dear. May we honor their memories and their selfless courage every day and thank the service members who continue to protect our state and nation," end quote.
Just great to see all of these events of remembrance on this day, and to honor those who are still alive, who were there.
Yeah, it's important to do that while we have the chance.
Yeah.
You know, as the piece said, you know, every year we lose more and more of the men and women from that wonderful generation of Americans, and it's so important to tell their stories and thank them now while we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, performers of the famous group Cirque du Soleil are bringing their world-famous show to the Cross Insurance Center.
And in sports, Hampton Academy girls basketball is rebuilt and ready to make a push this season. We'll be right back.
It's nitty-gritty time for the Bucs.
These conference games that have so much on the line.
This is the game circled on my calendar.
The NFL, Sunday on Fox.
$7.8 million. That's how much I made home sellers in the past 2 years. Planning on selling? I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Welcome to Kings Mountain RC and Hobby Shop in Brewer.
And some call me the King.
There are RC trucks, cars, crawlers, and parts aplenty. There are planes, metal detectors, and gear galore. I have decreed that all people can book birthday parties with their RC vehicles provided for all. We have indoor and outdoor tracks and crawling courses available. Bring yourself, your family, and friends to Kings Mountain RC and Hobby Shop, South Main Street, Brewer.
The Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub is world-renowned for beautiful dining with a delicious view, offering a safe, comfortable atmosphere, providing an intimate space for reconnecting with loved ones, family, and friends. It's a true destination dining experience, featuring award-winning dishes from executive chef Arturo Montes, and Ryan's Pub, serving traditional pub food with a modern twist. Whether it's a special occasion or any occasion, the Lucerne Inn is the perfect choice for your business or family gathering.
Saturday, the big-time games are on the new Fox Primetime Hoops. Number 4, Arizona. Send it in. Number 10, Indiana. Square off in a Pac-12 Big Ten battle. With the pound down. Omar Barlow has been a force for the Wildcats, but the real deal Hoosiers are up for the challenge. But the jam goes down. The most exciting voices. And the biggest games are on Primetime Hoops. Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
When selling your home, knowing your options could make you tens of thousands of dollars. That's what I do for my clients. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
The Salvation Army has a big day planned for Friday, trying to raise $1.5 million over the course of 4 hours. It's part of the National Commander's Red Kettle Challenge.
The Red Kettle campaign is a huge part of our annual budget, and so we need to try to raise as much as we can, and we do that through the generosity of the public. And so we're very grateful for what's been given so far, but we need so much more.
Well, if you can't make it to donate in person, you can certainly donate digitally.
The Senate unanimously passed a resolution introduced by U.S. Senators Susan Collins and Angus King designating Saturday, December 17th as Wreaths Across America Day. A convoy of volunteers will travel from Maine to Arlington National Cemetery to lay Maine-made wreaths at the headstones of fallen American soldiers. Over the past 31 years, Wreaths Across America has sent more than 14 million wreaths to various locations, including cemeteries and veterans memorials in all 50 states and overseas. Senators King and Collins said the longevity of this event is a testament to the spirit of Maine people and our overwhelming gratitude to our nation's service members. There will be a kickoff event for the trip to Arlington and Ellsworth this Sunday. The trucks arrive at the Maine Coast Mall on High Street at 9 o'clock, and the ceremony begins at 9:30. Our Susan Farley will be the MC for the event before the trucks head to Arlington.
Well, in other news tonight, the spellbinding performers of the famous group Cirque du Soleil are bringing their world-famous show Corteo to the Cross Insurance Center. The show centers on a clown named Mauro, who has passed away, but his spirit remains. Instead of mourning, the funeral cortege, which is called a corteo in Italian, celebrates the here and hereafter. Organizers say the show is quite the undertaking. It involves 21 semi-trailers of equipment and 12 hours to build in the venue, and involves 100 locally hired workers who pitch in on all that labor. The troupe has been on the road for the show since 2016, first doing 2 years in North America, then 2 abroad in Europe before the COVID-19 pandemic hit. They are now touring again across the U.S., and they say they are glad to be back together, ready to deliver a unique experience to their audience.
We are a multicultural, we're actually a bit of a melting pot from all over the world. And that's what actually makes it great to be on tour, because we're one big family from people all over the world. So you get to learn things about different parts of the world and their culture that we don't see, because I'm American.
All my friends are here, and it's a show that I have in my heart always. There's an act called trample beds, which are beds with the trampoline. We are playing children throwing pillows and jumping on the bed, which is really, really fun to watch and really, really fun to do. And my other part, it's a steer wheel. It's a big metal wheel that rolls on stage it's kind of a dance melted with acrobatics.
Runs from December 9th through the 11th. Tickets are still available online.
I think that's going to be a really popular show.
Yeah.
Definitely a famous act, and it's cool to see them come into Bangor, and just really impressive to see, just a snippet of their abilities there.
And that's just them rehearsing and
Right.
kind of doing things here and there. When you see the fully choreographed, polished, coordinated show, I'm sure it is nothing short of spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
And the performer you just heard talking in that interview talked about how they all started as athletes of some kind, depending on the sport. Maybe they started as dancers as well, but all of them have a really solid athletic base and then just branched off to acquire other skills that made them the performers they are.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. It's amazing what they can do.
Yeah, and certainly true athletes. It takes a true athlete to be able
to do that
those
kind
stunts.
of kind of work. Absolutely. Well, Conrad's coming up next with our full 5-day. Stay with us.
We had some rain showers out there today, and that's going to continue into tonight. How long will this rain last, and when is some clearing finally going to return? I'll have all the answers and more coming up.
Whether you're hurt by a box truck or by any commercial vehicle, you may have a big case worth big money. If you've been hurt by any commercial truck, call the Twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial truck? Come out on top. Call the Twos.
Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop is now open in Newport. Our unique building is a converted 1800s single-family home that we've given a new life to. A home for treasures, from antiques, collectibles, unique gifts, and so much more. Come make the rounds throughout the many rooms on all 3 floors as you wander back in time, or find a unique gift that's perfect for that special someone or that hard-to-buy-for relative. So come visit us today. Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop, 147 Main Street, Newport.
In recent years, we have seen many major shifts in the housing market. Maine Val has the experience and expertise to analyze these changes to provide a clear and accurate service for all your real estate appraisals. From estate and tax planning, divorce litigation, and other legal matters, we offer services to all our communities across the state of Maine. You do not have to navigate this turbulent market blindly. Trust in Maine Val's extensive experience to make highly informed decisions. Contact us today at 573-3222.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Stanley's Auto Center family. We are here for your tires, repairs, and winter essentials. Happy holidays from Morin Fuel, now hiring drivers for this holiday season. Merry Christmas from A Body in Need Spa and Wellness Center on State Street in Bangor.
You came to head the missing persons unit to find my son.
I won't let these families go through what I went through.
The girls, where are they?
Show me your hands! I'm right here.
I'm gonna make this right. You can tell me the truth.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. Our Maine weather is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studios in Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. So low visibility here in our state, folks, and that's associated with some fog, but also some rain. We had some rain earlier today, and that's going to continue into tonight. Most of it is a bit on the moderate to lighter end. Couple of heavier batches of rain indicated here in the yellow and oranges to the north, but overall not a massive low pressure system, as most of it is pretty much moving out. We do still have some showers lingering in Vermont, New Hampshire, but most of it will be moving out of the area very shortly, pretty much in the next several hours. Tonight it'll last, and then by tomorrow we are in the clear. We'll see lots of sunshine. Temperatures a bit on the cooler end, but hey, we'll still take those above average temperatures any day we can. So a little bit more rain to come, especially to the west. Machias, these numbers are a little bit underdoing it, but some places will still see maybe closer to 1/4 inch of rain before all said and done. Temperatures, though, are not all said and done. They're just beginning to cool down as all of this cold air from Canada continues to push down south. And as it does, it moves east. And as it moves east, we will all be in on some colder air. Our average high should be around 37 for this time of year. Today, we were, of course, well above that. Tomorrow, 45 as a high, and then we start to cool down. Friday, hovering around the average mark at 38. But look what happens by the weekend and by next week. Those are some cold temperatures. Bundle up, layer up, and button up, as colder air will be here very, very shortly. We'll continue to climb that ladder down with those temperatures. Winds are a bit on the breezy end, but take a look as they're mostly blowing in from the south. Machias at 18 miles an hour, Bar Harbor at 14, and some places coming in with stronger wind gusts close to 30 miles an hour. Here in town, we're blowing at an 8-mile-per-hour wind, and that's why we have some small craft advisories in effect until 7 a.m. on Friday, as the coast will see a little bit more stronger winds and higher waves because of that. Tonight, though, it's going to be another mild one. Temperatures hovering around 42 degrees. Rain is going to be in the area, and then some fog will start to develop later on in the overnight hours. So by the morning commute, rain will be gone, but still some fog will be in the area. So leave a little bit extra early for that morning commute. But look what happens during the day. 45, you're seeing that right, folks. Mid-40s outside tomorrow, decreasing clouds, so partly cloudy skies, and the winds will continue to stay on the breezy end, blowing things around, so hold your hats. And our extended forecast outlook does show colder air returning by Friday into Saturday, even colder by Sunday into Monday. Temperatures will feel more like a winter wonderland, hovering in those low 30s. Beth?
Definitely looking a lot more winter-like,
yeah,
at least in terms of those temperatures.
Absolutely. Happy to see that personally.
Indeed.
All right, well, sports is coming up next, so stay with us.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Have you ever walked into a jewelry store and just gotten overwhelmed? Pushy salesmen, sky-high prices, and they don't even have what you want. Well, that's not the experience you get from Quality Jewelers. Our team does not work on commission, so that means our common goal of finding you the perfect piece is paramount. Our mission is to give you the best experience possible, providing service after the sale and earning your business for life. So make those memories with us here at Quality Jewelers. Quality Jewelers, locally owned and operated, Penobscot Plaza, Bangor.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
Name someone Santa would bring to therapy with him.
Candy cane.
Name someone.
Some answers are the gift
Candy cane!
that keeps
I said candy cane!
on giving.
The little striped peppermint. Candy with the hook on it. Stop it!
Happy holidays from Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Herman Motor Company. Whether you're looking for a new vehicle or to have your current vehicle serviced or detailed, Herman Motor Company has it all.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. With just days away from the high school basketball season officially tipping off, we'll take a look at the Hamden Academy Broncos. The girls lost a few seniors last season, but they are still hoping to make a push in Class AA. Ryan Sudol has more.
That loss last year was really tough.
Hamden Academy girls basketball once again made the AA state tournament last year, but the Broncos didn't win, place, or show. This year, the Broncos have a healthy mix of young and experienced talent, a good sign for the present and the future.
It's kind of nice for now and coming years because we have some experience and then we have some girls who are going to get experience this year for later.
When talking about experience, look no further than senior guard and recent Providence College commit, Bella McClellan.
She's very strong, she's a good finisher, good shooter, a good all-around player. Whether it's a tough practice or a tough game, she's always there. She inspires everybody on this team, and everybody wants to be her.
Another key piece, especially on the defensive end, is junior forward Lauren Voter.
She's one of our taller girls, so she often has to guard the post. She's not as tall as them, but she's often stronger than them and faster than them. My coach, who gives me great advice, he has taught me everything I know about how to get around people, how to just embrace the height that I do have and try to make it work.
And the Broncos will try to make it work this year after losing 5 seniors. But they're no strangers to this type of situation.
So we lost Bailey Donovan, and then we lost Amelia, Lydia, Sid, and Bella. So we just lost these really big components, and nobody ever expected us to do well after them.
But they have, becoming AA North champions in 2020 and reaching the semis last year. The Broncos will begin this year's push with a game against Camden Hills.
Last year we played them, we had a pretty good win, so this will be a good game to show how we play as a team, what groups work well together, and just how we're going to be this year.
That game against Camden Hills takes place right here at Hamden Academy this Friday at 6. In Hamden, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7, Fox 22. Thanks for that, Ryan. Looking forward to see what the Broncos can do on the court this season. Let's move to Maine women's hockey now. Molly Engstrom, the program's first-year head coach, is also taking on a role with Team USA. Ditching the black and blue for the Stars and Stripes. Not really ditching the black and blue. Engstrom, a 2-time Olympian as a player, now joins the Team USA coaching staff for the first time in her career. She was added as an assistant coach for the Americans for the December Rivalry Series games. They take place on December 15th in Nevada and December 19th in Los Angeles, where she will make her coaching debut in the red, white, and blue. Now, Maine's next game is January 5th, so no conflict there. Let's move on to some baseball now. It was a slow start to the MLB free agency period for both the Red Sox and the Yankees, but on Wednesday, both teams made some pretty big moves. We'll start with the Red Sox. They picked up a closer. What has it been, 5 years since Craig Kimbrell left and they went closer by committee? They welcome Kenley Jansen to Boston to the tune of 2 years and $32 million. Jansen was most recently working out of Atlanta's bullpen, but he was a major part of those Dodgers teams in the 2010s and their World Series team. The 35-year-old led the National League in saves with 41 last season and will be a huge help to a Sox pen that struggled in 2022. And in New York, it was a big payday for all-star outfielder Aaron Judge, who broke the American League's single-season home run record in 2022 after some false reports Tuesday saying that he was signing with San Francisco. The Yankees brought the slugger back to the Bronx with a whopping 9-year, $360 million contract. And that $40 million a year is the highest for any position player in history. After being in serious talks with other suitors, Judge made the decision to stay in New York for the long term for nearly $150 million more than what the team offered him at the beginning of last season. And the Red Sox also signed Matasaka Yoshida to a 5-year deal. The star outfielder out of Japan had just been made available to MLB teams this week. The 29-year-old will make $90 million over his 5 years in Boston. Let's stay with some baseball now. Earlier in the year, we told you that the Savannah Bananas would be coming to Hadlock Field, and now there's more. Banana Ball was scheduled for Friday, August 18th at Hadlock, but now they will be there for back-to-back nights on the 18th and Saturday the 19th. The Bananas announced the extra date on Twitter, saying, More games equals more fun, and that due to demand, they added several new dates on their tour. Let's move to some football now. There has been a lot of talk about the Patriots' offense recently, or lack thereof, but this week Bill Belichick confirmed they're not making any major changes. After scoring just 10 points this past week and just 10 the week before Thanksgiving, those 26 against Minnesota looking to be an outlier in the data. And people are wondering how an offense returning a Pro Bowl quarterback from last season and a good chunk of the same players has fallen off so badly. A lot of fingers are being pointed at the new offensive play callers, Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, who came back as a committee to replace Josh McDaniels after being let go of their respective teams as head coaches.
I mean, look, we're not going to go to the, wishbone offense here. We're not going to run the beer. I mean, yeah, major changes, yeah, absolutely. We wouldn't be able to practice it. Again, the system that we have in place, I feel good about. So.
All right, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
You can get any phone you want. Any one I want? Any phone you want.
Connection is the greatest gift of all. At U.S. Cellular, we're offering any phone free for new and current customers, plus $100 to spend on accessories.
I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. Winning car accident cases is what we do. Check out a few of our big wins.
I injured my torso, and they got me $195,000. What did the twos do for you?
I needed foot surgery, and they got me $215,000. What did the twos do for you?
I broke multiple bones, and Lowry & Associates got me $450,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
In recent years, we have seen many major shifts in the housing market. Maine Val has the experience and expertise to analyze these changes to provide a clear and accurate service for all your real estate appraisals. From estate and tax planning, divorce litigation, and other legal matters, we offer services to all our communities across the state of Maine. You do not have to navigate this turbulent market blindly. Trust in Maine Val's extensive experience to make highly informed decisions. Contact us today at 573-3222.
Toyota's all-wheel drive vehicles not only conquer the elements, Toyota conquers its competitors by sheer selection. You see, Toyota has 15 different all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models. That's more than Subaru, more than Honda, more than Jeep. Conquer most anything with a tough Tacoma 4x4. The best-selling midsize pickup for 16 years and named the best buy of the year among midsize pickups. See your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
One good guess.
Cursed romance. Star-crossed lovers.
You better work! Deserves another.
Egyptian writing.
Hieroglyphics.
Wow! I felt like the person shouting wrong answers at the study group.
And another.
Opposite water? Sand.
25 words or less.
You did it again. You're going home with another $10,000.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
Young Sheldon is bringing you the gift of family.
I'm the glue that holds our family together. We're having a moment here. Don't ruin it.
Young Sheldon.
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
And now for a glimpse at the glitz and glamour. Michelle Yeoh gets a new title. Abbott Elementary leads a list of nominees and more. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with the latest from the Hollywood Nation.
Here we go!
Lovato teases a new list of nominees are announced, and Yeoh's iconic status is celebrated in the Hollywood nation. Michelle Yeoh has been named Time's 2022 Icon of the Year. The recognition is part of a special category in the magazine's annual Person of the Year issue. She also made the publication's list of 100 most influential people of 2022 back in May.
It is time to get this party started.
The Critics' Choice Awards has revealed its 2023 nominees in TV. The teachers of Abbott Elementary lead with 6 nominations, including Best Comedy Series and Best Actress in a Comedy Series for show creator and star Quinta Brunson. AMC's Better Call Saul follows with 5 nods, including Best Drama Series and Best Actor in a Drama Series for Bob Odenkirk. The ceremony will be held in Los Angeles and air on the CW January 15th.
There's something in the air.
The Backstreet Boys spread holiday cheer. The group released the music video for Christmas in New York. The song is off their new holiday album, A Very Backstreet Christmas, which debuted at #1 on Billboard's Top Holiday Albums chart. And Demi Lovato may be working on new music. The Grammy-nominated singer teased TikTok followers with a video about being back in the studio. Lovato released her 8th and most recent album in August. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Electronic cigarette maker Juul reached a settlement covering more than 5,000 cases. The lawsuit related to Juul's vaping products was brought against Juul Labs by more than 10,000 plaintiffs. Juul said the financial terms of the settlement will be kept private, but the company needed to obtain equity investments to fund the settlement, leaving Juul's financial outlook shaky at best. Layoffs have already occurred and bankruptcy seems likely. Back in June, the FDA temporarily pulled Juul products from the market, saying the e-cigarette maker did not meet our public health standards. Then in September, Juul agreed to pay almost $440 million to settle claims by 34 states where the company targeted underage kids in misleading marketing campaigns and downplayed the risk of using its high-nicotine vaping products. In the same month, Juul's largest investor, tobacco company Altria, announced it would resume creating its own e-cigarette products after leaving the market in 2018. Altria's $13 billion investment in Juul has lost nearly all its value as Juul continues to remain in litigation.
Well, finally tonight, a popular Tex-Mex restaurant brings some spicy heat to a holiday gift collection. Chili's is releasing some hot pepper items for you to have some fun with at holiday celebrations, including tacky sweaters and other gift essentials. The bright red sweater features peppers as Christmas tree lights, and there's a Chili snowy pepper gray sweatshirt. The restaurant also has a snow globe and Christmas cards and Chili's food themes. You can find the collection at welcometochili's.com. It's very bright, fun sweater. Why not?
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
I guess if you know anyone who just loves Chili's, that's a great gift for.
That's a great gift
for the chili lover.
You know.
But yeah, it's definitely a conversation starter to say the least.
It's definitely going to win you some top honors at loud Christmas sweater contest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say, while maybe it's a little tacky, I do like the designs. I think they're kind of fashionable.
Bright and festive.
Get you right in the Christmas spirit.
We like to be festive. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us, folks, from everybody here at Fox 22. Take care and have a great night.
Good evening, everyone.
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station, ABC7, right now for ABC7 News at 11.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to